I wake, I be locked in. I don't need no break. Okay. Let's play. I say ain't nothing but my grind on my mind. See, we started with nothing, then we climb, then we gonna keep bucking till we finally shine. Indeed, I keep them ducking, baby, time after time. I say ain't nothing but my grind on my mind. See, we started with nothing, then we climb, then we gonna keep bucking till we finally shine. Indeed, I keep them ducking, baby, time after time. I said it's getting hotter out that flame I came. They try to stop me, straight up block me through that pain I've gained. A newer way, pursue my race. Look, I don't cry no more. I just load up my mind and let my grind go show. Cause I'm locked in. Every single day I be locked in. Focused all the way, man, I'm locked in. From the time I wake, I be locked in. I don't need no break. Okay. Let's play. Sorry, ain't no conforming. They'll know when I come for them. They don't know what I'm forming. They get low while I'm soaring. Ain't nothing about abnormal. No, he abnormal. Bad for you, ask for who dance. I shout, I'm asked for you. No debate, I flow grade 8. Luckily, they with me now. Sit back, watch a procreate. I spit raps that'll go through hate. Stay focused on your biz and don't you ever focus. Stay focused on your biz and don't you ever focus. I'm locked in. Every single day I be locked in. Focused all the way, man, I'm locked in. From the time I wake, I be locked in. I don't need no break.
All right.
Okay. Let's play. Okay. Let's play.
What up? What's up, good people? What's up? What's good? Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming through on this Sunday afternoon. It's been a minute. But I appreciate y'all coming through and for this little combine recap based off the information that I could gather. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch. The only day I watched live was the first day. So everything else has been like YouTube and recaps and stuff like that. But I was fortunate enough to come across somebody that put like all the numbers in one document. And so I had been waiting on the testing and stuff to come out. And as the testing came out, Buddy filled this document out. And so to go along with the stuff I've watched on NFL YouTube channel, to some stuff I've read, to listening to Todd McShay a little bit in the car. Now, I did stop at day 2 for McShay because I didn't want him to ruin some of the stuff for me. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each position group other than quarterback and tell you some guys I think that kind of made some money or lost some money or just, got my antennas up to be like, okay, I need to go back and watch tape on this person or the other. But before we do that, let's give some shout outs, man. Let's do that. Y'all taking your time out on y'all Sunday afternoon to come kick it. P was in here first. Says, Coach, what's good? Chaos says he's testing. I guess that's a response to me testing to see if the chat was working today. Appreciate you, Chaos. James C says, what up, Flock? Appreciate you coming through, James. Clot's in the building. Clot's in the building. What's good, Clot? Daniel Berry says, what's good, everybody? Appreciate you coming through. Damon, appreciate it. Zeke coming through with the unk. Hey, every time I see him write that, it makes me laugh because I'm in unk status, but don't really feel like unk status. It is what it is, man. I'm happy to be an unk because a lot of us don't make it to be unk. So I take it, man. I take it. I don't even take it as an insult, man. Or when the kids call me OG, I don't take that as an insult either. So it is what it is because a lot of our people don't get to see, unk status or OG status. So I appreciate you, Zeke. What up, Ashley, for coming through? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Heather, appreciate you. Who else we got? Who else we got? Let's see. Let's see. Chef, what's good, Chef? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I be saying, what's good, fam? What's good? What's good? What's good? See who else we got before we get started. Before we get started, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, what's up, B? What's good? What's good? What's good? And I think that's about it. What up, Cam? I see Cam here. I see winners. Glock man, appreciate you guys for coming through. And Damon says you. Hey, it is what it is, Damon. I ain't gonna fight it. I ain't gonna fight it at all. But I will tell you, share a little bit of the personal. I finally got to open my Christmas gift this weekend. And if you follow me on Twitter, you kind of, you saw me and the missus out. And it was fun, man. It was a beer, bourbon, barbecue festival. But this in particular location had boxing for about 5 hours. So it was food, it was different beers, different bourbons, it was cigars, it was good food, and it was boxing. And it was great weather. It was outside event, and it was great weather. Like not too hot, not too cold. And I ended up meeting a Seahawks fan. And I, just casually told him, I'm like, bro, you wasn't no Seahawks fan 2 weeks ago. And so he was Seahawks head to toe. The lime green socks, the lime green shirt with the dark blue shorts. And he said, but I can tell you, I know I was a Seahawks fan before 2 weeks ago. Cause these so old, they don't even sell these no more. I said, you got it, dog. You got it. 'Cause they were, it was some live boxing, damn. They were amateurs, but it was cool. It was cool. It might be the first and only time I get to sit front row at a boxing event. So I'm cool with it. Thanks to the missus for the experience, man. Love you. I appreciate you. And let's go get on into what we're here for. Oh, what up, Ozzy? And who else that done snuck in here? Darlene. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Why you got the wrong channel? Why you got the wrong channel? I be saying. What do you say? Hoping nobody ran out their draws again like that. Oh. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that. But let's kind of dive on into what we're here for. And like I said, I'm gonna take each position group outside of quarterback. I ain't touching quarterbacks right now. And kind of tell you who I thought made money or lost money, and just got my attention and be like, oh, I need to go back and watch tape on XYZ. And so that's what we're gonna kind of do. This should run about 15-20 minute ish. And while I'm doing this, you guys can kind of throw in the chat box like who at the combine kind of surprised you and kind of made you, wonder some things. Now I do have a new favorite receiver though. I do have a new favorite receiver. I do. And I may tell you about it at the end, but we 9 minutes in. Let's kind of dive on into what my mouth said. There you go. And let's go. Which one we want to do? New film. Yeah, we can do new film. That way we can keep the chat stuff up there. Let's transition. All right. So we're gonna start with the running backs. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. The running backs didn't do a whole lot of stuff, but and I got a little bone. I don't know how they solve it. It's just all these guys that come and don't work out. Let somebody else have that space. Like
Donations.
Let somebody else have donation. Chef came through with a 5. He says, "Hey, coach, I guess I'm speaking for a lot of us excited for this upcoming Ravens. I am too, man. Me and Sutton and the fellas, we talked about it. Like we was wondering like what kind of content we was gonna do for the offseason with us, losing so early. I was telling them I'm gonna get into draft stuff, and they was trying to figure out what they was gonna do. And then Harbs got fired. And we said it right then. Shoot, we got content for the rest of this offseason. And so now it's like and I don't know where I heard this at, but they was talking about how the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, and you don't really hear a lot about Seattle other than the fact that they are the Super Bowl champions at the moment. But you take us, we got news almost daily because we so excited about what's to come, even though we didn't win the Super Bowl. And I like whoever said it made a lot of sense because we're like a lot of the teams that got new coaches, there's so much hope and optimistic, beliefs out there for the future. Where the Seahawks, y'all at the top of the mountain. So unless you're gonna stick at the top of the mountain, which is hard as heck to do in NFL, you got to go back down. And so for everybody, the 10 teams that got new coaches, and then some of the teams that were right on the cusp, everybody got optimism right now. Like, especially the teams that got a boatload of money that's being in free agency because the new league year starts in about a week or so, a little over a week. I think the tampering period is the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Then the new league year starts on like the 11th or something like that. So you about to start see the shaping of your new teams here soon. Now I don't expect us to see a lot of stuff, but you know what it is. Like Clark just said, we in the news exactly. We in the news like the Cowboys. The Cowboys stay relevant. Chris, this for you.
Better late than never, but never late is better.
All right now. But again, so let's get on into this. All right, running backs. And so, we'll start off with the fastest 40 guys. Hey, Coach, why we didn't just tag Linderbaum non-exclusive and just match the deal? That's a good question, Josh. I will say this. Let me throw it up there so y'all can see it. So this is my take on Linderbaum. If you franchise him, I think 27 was the number that came out. Can't do that. The highest paid center in the NFL is Creed Humphreys at 18. So you can't just jump out there and set that market at like 16. I mean, not like 16, like 26. You can't just set that market like 26. That's too big of a jump from 18 to 26 for centers. So you got to, and then EDC came out, and I feel like EDC did a great tactical job by saying we've offered him a market-setting contract. So that means he definitely offered over 18 million, which is what Creed got. Now it could be 18.5, could be 18.75, could be 19, could be 20, could be anything north of 20. My personal thing is, if you give him that opportunity to go find a deal, and some idiot like the Browns did with Deshaun Watson a couple years ago and jump out there and give him 25, we not gonna match that. We're not gonna match that. That's too big of a jump for a position. $7 million. The best guy making 18, the next guy making 25. That's too big of a jump. But I do understand if you're the top 3 or 4 of your position, you should go over the next highest guy, and that's kind of what quarterbacks do. Sometimes the best quarterback don't make the most money, and you see this because at one point Justin Herbert was the highest paid. At one point, Stafford was the highest paid. It's just whenever your time come up, and you in that upper echelon of quarterbacks, you get to jump the top guy. That's kind of how it works. But you don't jump the top guy by 7-8 million. You incrementally jump the top guy. If it's 1 million, 2 million, maybe 2.5, maybe 3. But I just can't see getting, to me, you got to weigh your pros and cons right here. You already got Lamar with 75, and we don't know where that's going. If Lamar had already, done his thing and gave you a bunch of money, maybe. But Lamar is the king domino right here. You got to be real meticulous about where you spend your dollars if Lamar don't restructure or re-sign or whatever the case may be. So, and I understand it's about to push the panic button on Linderbaum, but Lamar is the big domino. Lamar's the big domino for all this. And honestly, Because honestly, I forgot I was laughing at Chris. I forgot what I was about to say. Anyway, Lamar's a big domino. He don't have to redo nothing. He don't have to. It would help the team if he did, but he don't have to redo nothing. I personally would like him to do it because I want the team to be better, but it ain't my money. So who am I to say good, bad, or indifferent? I mean, unless he want to give me some, I shall take it. But it ain't my money. And I said if he want to give me some, that could be he and Lamar and he and Bashotti. Either one of them he's can give me some and I'll take it. But let's get to these running backs. But that was a good question. That was a really good question. Let me get it off the screen. All right, so the running backs. You got Mike Washington from Arkansas ran a 4.33. Jeremiah Love, who I did a video on the More Sip2Tally channel before I left this weekend. That kid right there, man. And before I even saw these numbers, I was giving him glowing praise in that video. That Jeremiah Love is a dude, man. And if we didn't have Derek, we didn't have Derek. If we didn't have Derrick Henry, Jeremiah Love, my favorite clips from watching Jeremiah Love last week was seeing them motion him out of the box and him line up as a wide receiver and run routes, run legit receiver routes, and not no herky jerky running back. I'm trying to, he ran legit, stick the foot in the ground and go the other way. Push a dude in, stack him, and then break out. He ran legit routes from the slot position, and that floated my boat. That's all I'm gonna say. That floated my boat. And then the other 4-3 guy in the running back position was Damon Claiborne. But thinking about it, man, Jeremiah Love, I think he went from top maybe 13, 14 to possibly top 7 or 8. I'm gonna play with this with the PFF thing, if not tonight, but tomorrow, and kind of see the needs of the other teams to kind of see where Love gonna be. But I think in this running back position, Jeremiah Love, made some money. I can't really say if any of these guys lost the money because I would have to look at the tape. And the only running back I've even looked at this point was Jeremiah Love. So I don't want to, I'd be saying yes. But I'm not saying for us to draft him. I'm just saying I like what I saw. And he didn't show much of that the one game I watched in the season with Miami because they didn't let him touch the ball a lot. But I do understand because, most of the year they were saying Notre Dame should have been in, Notre Dame was ahead of Miami most of the year, but they were saying Miami should have been ahead of Notre Dame because they beat them. So I really, before watching the tape, I had only saw that one game of Jeremiah Love, and he didn't do much. But shoot, after watching the tape, that's something awesome, man. And I'm not going to like it either if he goes to the Chiefs. Me either, I'd be saying. That's the one team I don't want to go to. Because then they get to mess around and get a running game, and then they can do all them different things that Detroit does with Gibbs, with Love, and KC. They're going to be back, man. They're going to be back. But let's go to wide receivers, which, my favorite group. Let me see if I can sort this. I had it sorted earlier. Man, I ain't got to sort it. But I hid my... Nope, I don't want that. How do I get my stuff back? Nope, I don't want that either. Anyway, I can't remember how I get my lip ribbon back. I'll get it back later. Not going to do it on stream. But the fastest guys, they're all highlighted here in this little yellow column right here. You got Jeff Caldwell from Cincinnati, ran a 4.3. Bryce Lance from North Dakota State ran a 4.3. Zachariah Branch from Georgia ran a 4.3. Eric Rivers from Georgia Tech, 4.3. Xavier Thomas, LSU, 4.28. Deshaun Stribling, a guy who I'm working on for our episode this week, ran a 4.36. That shocked the you-know-what out of me. That really shocked the you-know-what out of me, seeing him run that. Because I got some interesting thoughts on Deshaun. Matter of fact, you can see some of my thoughts on Deshaun Strip. I don't know if I better say that because I'm a part of it, but I don't know if it's public yet. Never mind. I don't know if it's public yet, so I'm gonna take that on back. I done dibbled and dabbled and doing a little something extra. And but I got to check with the people and see if it's public. So then I'll let y'all know. Let's see who else. Malik Benson from Oregon ran a 4.37. Caleb Douglas from Texas Tech ran a 4.39. And Brendan Thomas, Hail State, Mississippi State, ran a 4.26. And if I'm not mistaken, that might have been the fastest. I know it was the fastest receiver. Might have been the fastest of the weekend. And then Chris Brazzell ran 4.37. Brazzell was a dude that I kind of thought that maybe we can get in the later rounds. And had the Oklahoma kid. Why his 40 not up there? Deion Burks. I don't know why his 40 not on here, but Deion Burks should have been up here at the top. Maybe I deleted it by mistake. Hold on, let's see. But Deion Burks 40 should have been up here at the top. The kid from Oklahoma. I don't know why it's deleted up here, but he was fast too. That son gone was moving. The kid from Oklahoma. But as far as the receivers that I like, I like Brazzell. I like our taller receivers because I feel like that's what we need. But Stribling's a taller guy. Stribling's a 6'2", if I'm not mistaken. But there's a guy that I already kind of was fond of. Then seeing his workout this weekend and seeing him address the media, he has really turned into my draft boo. And I haven't even watched the tape yet. But I am going to be watching the tape soon because I think he's on our list for draft junkies this week. And without watching it, I'll tell y'all. Now, if I'll give y'all a second, who is my new favorite wide receiver? My new favorite wide receiver. See if y'all can guess. And it ain't the obvious names. I don't think it ain't the obvious names. Brazzell was a guy I was kind of leaning on with that height, and whatnot, but. All right, Brandon. See, Brandon, we ain't need Max for that. We ain't need Max for that, Brandon. Oh, boy. Stribling's from Ole Miss, but that's my favorite. And see Lemon. No. Cooper is a good guess. It ain't Bell or Fields. But those are good guesses. I will say those are good guesses. He is an SEC receiver. It's Concepcion from Texas A&M. Reason I say that because when I watched them play Miami in the playoff game, he flashed a little bit. So that piqued my interest to who is this kid. The same way the defensive end for Texas A&M flashed too, number 9. And so watched him play from Miami. I'm like, man, this kid explosive. Had seen his combine workout. So I was already like intrigued on like this kid and what he gonna do and whatnot, and I like him. But then when he spoke at the podium, he was not scared. And if you don't know, this kid, it was reported that the thing that I read before I saw it, he has a speech impediment. And people like that, they tend to shy away from public speaking and try to do anything they can to get out of it and whatnot. But that kid stepped up there like, if I'm being in the NFL, I gotta talk anyway. And he just, got his thoughts out. It took him a little longer to get his thoughts out, but with every and with every time he finished his thoughts and got them out, and I felt for him more and more. And again, I was already intrigued by his own field play. That kid got heart, man. I really feel like that kid got heart. And as a kid that I would probably run through a brick wall for. Them the kind of kids I like to fight for. And so now he may not come to Baltimore, but he definitely got a fan in me. And I would love for him to come to Baltimore because he would give you so much. He would give you a speed demon. He give you stuff in the return game. If you don't know, I'm talking about KC Concepcion, y'all. Oh, Ashley know who I'm talking about? Yes. Yes. Concepcion. That his story is amazing to me. It's amazing to me. It's come on, Chaos. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. I'm not this with you, Chaos. But he did maul some people though. He did maul some people. But yeah, that's I'm rooting for that dude, man. I'm rooting for him. But as far as guys who made money, I think he's one of the ones that made money. I think Brazzle, because people knew he was tall and whatnot, and they got that kind of gimmicky system at Tennessee. But at that height, to put a 4.3 out there, I think he made money. The Burks kid made money. I think Fields from Notre Dame might have lost money. The big receiver from Notre Dame. He might have lost money with that 4.6. And that 4.6 is still flying. 4.6 is still flying. But he might have. Caldwell made some money. The Cincinnati kid. The LSU kids were not as fast as I thought. I thought they would be faster. And I know 4.41 ain't slow. I just thought they would have been faster. Ted Hurst, the Georgia State receiver, had one of the longest arm lengths. Came in at 6'4", 206 pounds. Ran a 4.2, 4.42. Had a 1.5 split. That ain't bad. Had a 36 vertical. That's not in the top tier, but that ain't bad either. Yeah, Ted Hurst had a good day. Ted Hurst did have a good day. He really did. I would say Ted Hurst made a few dollars. All right, let's slide to tight ends. Go over to tight ends. Now, let's go to tight end. I was at the my little thing yesterday, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I got a message that popped up on my phone from Josina Anderson, and it said Sadiq ran a 4.39. I was pulling out of the garage and I almost swerved like this tight end did not just run a 4.3. What up, Money Mike? And yes, he did run a 4.3. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon, 6'3", 241 pounds, ran a 4.39. Now, there's a guy I had been saying we should probably get Eli Stowers in the second round. Eli Stowers has been on my radar for a minute, especially once he went to Vanderbilt. Now, like, check these numbers out with Stowers and Sadiq. I know Sadiq ran the 4.39. I get it. Like that's blazing for a tight end. But when you look at the vertical, because vertical and broad kind of measure explosion. You look at the vertical for Stowers, 45.5. The vertical for Sadiq, 43.5. The broad jump for Stowers, 11.03. The broad for Sadiq, 11.01. Now Sadiq got him in that long speed. But Stowers an inch taller, 2 pounds lighter. The wingspan, Stowers has the longer wingspan. We had 2 tight ends drafted in the first round last year. 2 might go this year. He didn't do anything as Modis. He just was there with the interviews. He didn't do any testing as Modis. You might get 2 then. You might. But you look at, guys outside of them, names that have been thrown around that we could possibly get. Michael Trigg didn't do anything at the combine. Go compete. And I'm gonna, I guess it's some examples when we get to the defensive on the defensive side of some guys that didn't have to compete, but they did. Trigg, go compete. Tanner Kozoil, a name that we talked about in some of the mock drafts, came in at 6'6", had one of the higher verticals at 36.5, His 40 was 4.7, which, at 6'6", that ain't bad. Then there was a guy, poor dude. Where is his name? He came in and he ran a Miles Kelsman from, is this Tennessee? He ran a 4.9. I was like, man, that dog, just don't go and start practicing for left tackle. Just go and start practicing for left tackle. 6'5", 251. You could be 290 soon. Just go and start practicing for left tackle, dog. At 4'9", what you gonna do? Corey got a question. He says, let me see. Let me pull it up. Here it is. Why are short arms for O-linemen so frowned upon? Yet Linderbaum has short arms and has multiple Pro Bowls. Short arms for offensive linemen, when they talk about that, they're meaning tackles. Corey. They're mostly meaning tackles. The shorter armed offensive linemen work from center guard, because they don't have to reach as much, because they're kind of in a box, so to speak. And so the tackles who got unlimited amount of space, and then maybe limited space on the inside of their left tackle, they want them to have longer arms, also to keep defenders off of them too. So it ain't just the short arms that are frowned upon with offensive linemen. They're frowned upon as edge guys as well, because whoever can win the long arm battle, if you're a defender, if you can get up under the tackle with that one arm and then keep this outside arm free, you're a winner. And then if you're a tackle, you can get both hands on him and keep him out here and dance with him, rather than him get up in your chest, then that long arm wins. So that's why long arms are talked about a lot, and they're good to have, but you don't have to have them to be good. They hurt Will Campbell in the Super Bowl, but Will Campbell been whooping folks' butt in the SEC since a freshman. Was out of West Monroe in Louisiana, he been whooping people with them same arms. So yeah, he got exposed in the Super Bowl, but it's the Super Bowl. You win some, you lose some. He'll be better. He'll watch tape. He'll learn tricks of the trade. He'll learn ways to use them, short arms for strengths, and he'll figure it out. I promise you that, kids, you ain't just been continuously whoop. He jumped in the SEC as a freshman and started. And that says a lot. I know a lot of people, saying the SEC died. It is, but still, it's goons in the SEC every week. Even on Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt I don't even suck no more. I can't even say even Vanderbilt. You just could say Vanderbilt, and everybody would laugh. Not no more. Let's keep rolling. You good. All right, offensive lineman. Offensive lineman went today. Now, I haven't seen much on the offensive lineman, but so I'm gonna be real quick with the offensive lineman. But just look at these measurables, and if y'all didn't see it, for Markel Bell, fellow Mississippian, 6'9", 346 pounds. Hand size is, he don't even have a 10 hand size with that frame, which is crazy. Arm length, I think that's 36 inches, maybe 36 3/8 inches, maybe. I think that's what that is. It's 3'6", 3'8". Wingspan, 87 inches. Then he ran a 5'3", 40. He ran a 5'3", 40 at 6'9", 346. 6'9", 346. Yep, Ozzy, you sure right. That is wild. That is wild. Now with the offensive lineman, somebody's gonna take a chance on that size with Bell. You got some other big guys up there, but I'm some names that me, Chris, and Mike have talked about a lot. Names that I like. I can't say who or who didn't make money here, but I would throw some names out there that I wouldn't mind having on our team. Obviously, in the first round, I wouldn't mind Vega, or I'm gonna say or Proctor, but that or Proctor might be on a trade back thing. Or if they like him that much, go get him. Outside of that first round, I don't mind Jennings Dunker. And this don't necessarily mean second, whatever round, just outside of the first round. I wouldn't mind. Shoot, and this is all assuming Francis is gone. This is all assuming Francis is gone. I wouldn't mind Rutledge. What's the other kid from Iowa? Let me see. Let me scroll. What's the other kid from Iowa? Bo Stevens. I wouldn't mind either one of them. Outside of that. And these other numbers don't really matter for offensive linemen. Arm length, they say matters. The top 5 with arm length was Markel Bell, Demetrius Crownover from Texas A&M, Monroe Freeland from Georgia, Josh Brown from Kentucky, and Ahmad Reed Adams from Texas A&M. It is what. Let's keep rolling. Let's get on the defensive side. D-line. Did they put on a show to start the NFL Combine? Or was that Thursday night? Them boys got after it. They did. A lot of these cats made money, man. Interior and edge guys. Regis, I feel like made some money. I'm kind of scrolling through these names. Romello Height is I know people don't like the fact that I like Romello. I do. The production is there. I know, arms, height, weight, and size. The production is there in the SEC. Bailey, but everybody knew what Bailey is. I think Zane Durant might have made a few dollars. Caleb Banks made a bunch of money. Caleb Banks only played 3 games this year. He made a boatload of money. Caleb Banks came in at 6'6", 327 pounds. Arm length, 35. Wingspan, 85. Then he jumped a 32 vertical at 327 pounds. Had a 9'6" broad at 327 pounds. Didn't play but 3 games this year. Did play but 3 games this year. But the boy gonna get paid. Malachi Lawrence from UCF. Great day. Lee Hunter, Texas Tech. Great day. Great day for him. There was some other guys that had good days, but real quick, because I'm getting past my time, we're going to move on to these beasts right here, during linebackers. Hey, who really won the NFL Combine? The Styles family. The whole Styles family is the winner of the NFL Combine. That's what that is. I didn't, and I'm not a fan of Ohio State. When the little brother ran that 40, and we'll talk about him in the DBs, I did not know that was his brother. I found out they were brothers yesterday when the lit brother ran that fast 40. The Styles family won the Combine, which is crazy. I did not know that. But with these linebackers, obviously Styles and what's the other kid? What's his teammate? Let me make sure I say it's right. Styles and Reese. Styles and Vale Reese. Because they say don't call him Arvell no more, just call him Vale. Crazy number. Styles, 6'5", 4'4", 640, 43, 5 vertical. Reese, 6'4", 4'4", 40. I don't have a vertical for Reese, so he probably didn't jump. Crazy number. One of the guys I was interested to see, they didn't work out. I don't know why. Harold Perkins. I wanted to see what Harold Perkins would do, especially as athletic as he is. I just did, some stuff on him last week. I like what I saw to Jacob Rodriguez. That's the guy on the thumbnail, the linebacker from Texas Tech. I like what I saw out of him. But those 2 Ohio State guys, they set the tone for the Combine. For them to come out and do that at that size. And I was listening to Todd McShay, and he was talking with his whoever his new co-host is. And they was talking about Sonny Styles could play at all 3 levels. Because if you don't know, Sonny Styles was a converted safety. I can see a Mike McDonald protege or something getting their hands on Sonny Styles and creating an absolute monster. Because he got the speed and the twitchiness to be not necessarily maybe a free safety, but a, like a Roverish, Kyle Hamilton-ish type safety. Then you could put him, for real, off-ball linebacker. Then with pass rush abilities, slide him on the edge. You got a guy that can do all that. You know how much stuff you can disguise, which is kind of what we see with Kyle Hamilton. Then I think Vale is more edge rusher. I think he could play some off ball linebacker, but I think Vale is more edge rusher. But man, did they put on a show? They did. They really did. I heard Galladay's name a lot. But when you see what they did, it's tough. It's tough to even follow that up. It really tough to even follow that up. All right, and then the DBs. Bunch of fast times here, boy. Sykes from Arizona with a 4.3. Dalen Everett from Georgia with a 4.3. Let's see who else. Terenzo Pride from Missouri with a 4.3. Styles, the little brother, 4.27. I wanted to see Caleb Downs there. I wanted to see Caleb Downs. With some of these other DBs jumping up and doing what they did, I ain't gonna say it pushes Downs down the list, but there are more people going to look at these other guys and be like, can I just wait and get him later? So if I say Caleb Downs lost money, I don't mean he's not going to be one of the top picks. I mean, there are maybe doubts with other guys having better days than expected. Who else ran 4.3? Robert Spears Jenkins from Oklahoma. This dude, Thenneman, however you say his name, that cat cut up, man. You see how many yellows with his name? He got a top 40 at 4.35. He got a top 10-yard split at 1.5, and he had a top vertical at 41. And not the top, but like top 5-ish or whatever. And this is one of the few dudes I saw his own field drills. Not bad. Not bad. Safety from Oregon. Dylan Thieneman, however you say it. Look into him. Look into him. So that's kind of, just a surface level of who I think won, and not necessarily many losses because I ain't trying to crap on nobody's parade. But there's a name right here that if we have to get a safety at some point, I'm sitting well, since you can't really see it, I'm gonna type it in the chat. Keep this name on y'all radar. If we have to get a safety at some point, keep that name on your radar. His Purdue tape is fire. Who Garnett? Who you talking about? Oh, I like Pons too. Legendary. I really like Pons. I really like Pons. Malik is still on the Steelers. Oh, Garnett, you talking about the kid I was talking about, Thieneman. Talking about Thieneman. Yeah. Yeah, Thieneman, yeah. Thieneman, I've only seen the workouts, but I have heard that his when you watch him on tape, you're gonna see a good one. Yes. I like BJ Payne. I don't mean in the first, Taurus. BJ Payne not a first. BJ Payne probably not even a second round pick. He might be a third day or whatever, but hey, we might need him. But and the thing is, I like that. I like how tall he is. I'm glad I caught myself. I like how tall he is. And he got some ball skills to go with him. But with that being said, I'm gonna get back to these this draft stuff, and we'll be here tomorrow to we'll chop it up with some. I have some for y'all tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all for coming out, enjoying a little of your time on a Sunday night. Most of us got to hit the JOBs tomorrow, so y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, man. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a very, very good night. We're gonna let Urban take us out of here. How I do this? Go there.
Who is this?